Oh, Clint, thank God. Thank God you're here. Oh, Nora. Oh, hi. Come in.
Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
Hope you don't mind, just talked to Clint on his cellular phone, and he mentioned that he might stop by and watch the mayoral debate.
So we just decided to be our usual pushy selves and crash the party. But it doesn't seem like it's a good time.
Oh, no. It's fine. I'm very glad you're here.
Well, it's just that, you know, Bo has a lot riding on this debate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since he resigned as Liz's commissioner.
Yeah, I'm sure that one of the topics that'll come up is going to be the way I handled that Angel Square shooting, you know, that whole mess.
How's the trial going?
Well, it's going better than I expected. And actually, knock on wood, we might get an acquittal. Vicki, is something wrong? You seem...
No, I just haven't been sleeping very well. I've been having nightmares. Except that I have them when I'm awake. I think my father's coming back.
What do you mean, coming back?
Well, now I know what you meant by having a misspent youth.
You should see me play stump poker. Oh. Let's see. Oh.
Look at, oh! Woo!
Gee, talk about a TV junkie. Ever thought of getting a portable?
There's a big mayoral debate on TV tonight between Mayor McNamara and Alex Buchanan, in case you didn't know. But I'm sure that you don't know because, unlike some of my other customers, you prefer to stay uninformed.
Is that what David called you? Stupid virgin? Because you're not stupid. Kelly, granted, yeah, you do put on a good act sometimes, but you're not stupid. I don't want this to alarm you, but you're not a virgin either.
Yes, I am, Joey. That was just more of the act.
Are you trying to tell me that every time that you and David have been together that he couldn't perform?
We never slept together. I lied.
What about all those affairs when you were in Paris?
Like they say, in my dreams, look, I've never done it, Joey. No diplomats, no race car drivers, not even the guy who got me thrown out of school. Just me, in my bed, all alone. If I'd ever been with a man in my life, do you think I would have been dumb enough to throw myself at David?
Carlota, Antonio.
¿Dos cafés con leche?
Gracias, Mónica. Ay, Jaime. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias. There should be a debate every night. It's good for business.
Where's Christian?
Oh, he's at a big dance.
In Angel Square? And they don't invite me?
No, at the country club. Ay, Mira, you should have seen him. Ay, Christian, he looks so handsome.
Handsome like his brother. Well, tell him that we miss him. But I hope he has a good time.
Yeah, well, I hope they don't mistake him for a waiter.
Thank you for driving us, Mr. Buchanan.
You're welcome, Chris.
Hey, Dad, thanks. See you later.
Well, you know, I thought I'd stick around for a while and watch you dance. I'm just kidding. I'll get out of your hair. In fact, I won't even cramp your style by picking you up. Chris, when you get ready to go, call that number. The car will come by for you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks. Maybe we better call this number now. Just they're all wearing tuxedos.
A Christian, so what? The invitation said black tie was optional. Or, of course, if you want to dress like that, you can.
No, that's all right.
I'm with you. I'm not crazy about getting into one of those monkey suits myself. Besides, you look fine. You look just fine.
Thank you.
You are beautiful. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, Dad.
Good night, Mr. Buchanan.
Good night, Chris.
So I guess we should go on into the dance.
Oh, after you. So, the guy looks around and he says to the nuns, okay, who took my ball?
Hey, boss, listen, I was doing some digging on Alex Buchanan, and it's like I turned over a big wet rock. I mean, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's crawling around this lady's
Listen, man,
past.
okay, the only questions I want you to ask are the ones that I okayed, all right? And don't get your boss angry yet. He's getting married tomorrow. All right. Where's Alex?
Oh, Nigel had to drive her home to change her clothes again. What is it with women, Todd? Whatever she puts on better be tasteful and conservative, or Nigel's got instructions not to let her back in the car.
Brian, not this blouse, you idiot. My public's already seen me in that blouse. Can't you do anything right? Ah!
Nigel, what did she end up with? Oh, good. Even Margaret Thatcher might wear that.
But I don't think Lady Thatcher would accessorize in quite the same way. Wait.
Hello, Asa.
Are you kidding me, Alex? You're supposed to be one of the people, not a showgirl.
Perhaps Madam would like to put her jacket back on?
No! My outfit photographs much better this way.
You know, it's funny. I really thought you wanted to win this election.
I do.
Then you cover yourself up, put the jacket on, button it up to your neck, get rid of this jewelry. Unless you want to remind the people of Angel Square that you're rolling in dough while all they've got is squat.
Better? What are we watching? A snowstorm?
So, you don't think Christian has the right to take Jessica to a dance?
Mommy, I didn't say that.
No. You said that you thought that when Christian walked into the country club, they would think he was a waiter?
Well, they're definitely not going to think he's a member. Look, they don't want us in their precious club.
Well, that's their problem, isn't it? Jessica doesn't think that way. Jessica cares very much about Christian, and she wants to share her world with him.
Yeah, and then one day she's going to find herself some rich little white boy, the third, the fourth, or the fifth, and Christian's history. Look, why put himself through that when there's so many nice Latinas around?
Ah, so that's the way you've been hanging around Linda Soto so much lately? Because she's one of us?
Does it matter? Look, I would have liked her anyway, right? But I like her more because she belongs here.
And Jessica doesn't?
No. Look, she's just like every other white person, all right? They come down here to get a little bit of Spanish culture, all right? And then when they're done, they go back home to the suburbs. Excuse me, I think I've died and gone to heaven.
Vicky, your father is not coming back.
No. No, of course he's not. I mean, I didn't really mean that I thought he was, literally. You mean he's showing up in dreams?
No, it's real. I see him being smothered to death with a pillow.
It's like I remember it.
Vicky, you weren't there when your father died.
No, I wasn't, so why do I see it so clearly? You know what? Maybe this is just your imagination. I mean, after all, the second investigation showed that your father probably had been smothered. Why do I see it now?
Well, doesn't it still bother you that chances are Dorian Lord got away with murder? Irene Manning's diary set her free.
Oh, there's something I have to tell you. I stole the diary from the police.
You're saying you never had those affairs in Paris?
You believe the stories I told you?
Well, no, maybe about 5%.
Why would anyone want to have an affair with me anyway? I'm an airhead and a total dog. I mean...
Kelly, I found you and David together in bed.
Right. And if we'd done it, I'm sure he'd want to close his eyes so he wouldn't have to look at me. He didn't want me, Joey. He knew that he was going to hurt Dorian. She was right about him all along.
Maybe he wanted both. Maybe he wanted to hurt Dorian and have you. Look, the guy is scum. That is true. But he's not insane. Even he can see how attractive you are. You are not an airhead, Kelly. You have an unbelievable imagination. And yeah, you are a bit of a weirdo, and you dress like a freak.
Don't try to make me laugh, okay? My life is over here.
All right. But before we start sending out the announcements to the Kelly Kramer memorial service, just, I think maybe you ought to give Dorian a call. Tell her you've seen the light about David.
Nice shot. Hey, you hustling fool. Watch out. Ford, I'm warning you.
Hey, as soon as I get a shot, she's dead.
Hey, I thought you'd be home watching Cassie on the tube.
Yeah, well, that was the plan, but I started getting so nervous for her that I called a babysitter for River and got the heck out of the house.
Hey, well, Cassie's gonna do a great job. In fact, I can't wait to see you book both of those ladies on the spot. Make them both squirm.
Yeah.
Well, I assume you will be voting early and often.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm gonna hit polls right after lunch, right?
Yeah, fine with me.
Good. Hey, Andrew, you want a drink?
You buying?
No, Maxie's.
So, lunch with Court?
We're just friends.
You, could do a lot worse.
Oh, trust me, I have.
You sure Court just wants to be friends?
I told him I was unavailable, Andrew.
Ah, so there's somebody else. Is there somebody else? There's somebody else. There is somebody else.
Yeah,
Is this serious?
yeah.
What, are we talking marriage here?
You could say that.
Amy, hi. We were just coming to look for you. Happy birthday. Thanks, Jess.
Very retro suit, man.
So I'm wrong. The 80s are back in?
Whatever. Party on, Boozer.
So, is Amy impossible to shop for or what? I mean, the girl has everything. But I found her these great Tiffany earrings. What did you get her? You'll see when she opens it. But I think she's really gonna like it. Great. Then she's really gonna clean up because my earrings are to die for. I'll see you guys. Chris, what are you doing?
Earrings from Tiffany's? Just, you know what I got her? A box of candy. Come on.
Okay, well, listen, I got her something we can just say it was from the both of us, all right?
All right, fine, but only if you let me pay half, okay?
Okay, that's fine. You can pay me back whenever. Doesn't matter. So, do you want to go into the party?
No, I'm gonna watch the start of the debate.
Coming up in just a few minutes on WBL-TV is the long-awaited mayoral debate between the incumbent Elizabeth McNamara and her
Okay. Let's say that you are the one who stole Irene Manning's diary from the evidence room. Why?
I don't know. It wasn't me, Bo. It was one of the others. It was Jean Randolph.
Okay, do you know what Jean did with the diary?
No, but I know who has it.
Okay.
Tori told me she gave the diary to Dorian. What?
Uh-huh, okay. Dorian knew that the entry that cleared her of the murder charges was a forgery. Our crime lab guys, they could prove that. Except now Dorian has the evidence, and I'm sure it's ashes by now, right?
Aren't your alters supposed to be protecting you? Then why would Tori or any of them be helping out your enemy? I don't know. I don't know. That's what makes all of this so horribly difficult. It's all these things that I don't know.
Alex, you don't sweat the questions from the Sun reporter, right?
Right, because you wrote all those questions and I've already memorized all those answers.
And if Cassie tries to rattle you?
I look at you. If you pull your ear, I say yes, and if you rub your nose, I say no.
Mrs. Buchanan, do you need to set levels?
Yes.
Knock him dead, honey.
Brian? Brian, where are my position papers? Oh, my God, do you do this on purpose? Well, down on your knees. Pick them up, boy, and get them to me on the set. We're on the air in 1 minute. And if it's not too much of a strain, dear, see they're in proper order.
Brian, right? Brian, I wouldn't treat a dog the way that battle axe treats you. Now, you look like a fine, fine young man. And I think you should know this. You play your cards right, and everything goes Alex's way in the big debate. There's bound to be a job with your name on it at City Hall.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Decision 95, the mayoral debate. I'm Mike Lynch, and I'll be your host for this long-awaited debate between the incumbent mayor of Landview, Elizabeth McNamara, and her challenger, Alex Buchanan. Now, to question the candidates, the League of Landview Voters has chosen 2 reporters from our daily papers, Cassie Carpenter of the Banner and Sean Magadan of the Sun. Mr. Magadan, we'll begin with you.
Thanks. Mrs. Buchanan, last week the Sun exposed the fact that students at Landview Public Schools are scoring far below the national average on achievement tests. Are our children doomed to being dumber and dumbest, or is there a cure?
There is a cure. And the cure is hope. Hope that our young people can learn from the mistakes of their elders, like my elderly opponent, Mayor McNamara. First of all, we have to address the issue of student-to-teacher ratio. When classrooms are smaller, when a teacher can concentrate on fewer students, the quality of the education is always better. Every available study proves this. No one disputes this, except my opponent, Mayor McNamara, whose priority has been to build new and expensive schools in wealthier areas while reducing the number of teachers in struggling areas, such as Angel Square.
Mayor McNamara, would you respond?
Oh, yes, I would indeed. First of all, I'd like to point out a fact of
Bo,
my opponent.
Clint, I think the debate is starting.
That is that the population...
We're on our way.
Dorian got the diary back from Vicky?
From one of Vicky's alters. Now, I had to tell Hank about that.
Well, assuming Dorian hasn't already destroyed it.
Hey, guys, the great debate is on.
Yeah, we'll come here. Have a chip, honey.
Okay.
Hold on.
What?
I've been hearing some strange stories. You know, about you losing it in the courtroom, having a big blowout with Nora and roadies and getting loaded? Now, what's going on?
It's all an act.
For whose benefit?
Nick Manzo.
Manzo?
Yep. I'm sure he's our dirty cop. So that's why I've been acting like I'm losing it with Nora because she's defending Andy. And see, if I can make Manzo believe that I'm on his side, then maybe Manzo will just open up to me.
Good luck. I know the trial isn't going real good for Andy.
Yeah, but Nora has a new witness now. She can turn this trial upside down.
Concerning these scurrilous allegations about my innocent son-in-law,
You've been kind of quiet tonight, huh?
Yeah, isn't that nice for a change? I talk too much.
You mean like to Harrison's lawyer? Did something go down between you two?
I told the lady I'd testify.
Well, that's great. I mean, not just for Harrison, but for me.
Well, must be my lucky night. Hey, I've been looking all over town for you.
Yeah? Well, I've been looking for you.
Mayor McNamara, one of the major concerns of the community has been the gang-related violence in Angel Square and the shocking evidence of police involvement. How do you plan to heal these wounds? Both the escalation of violence and the public's growing fear of police corruption.
Yeah, excuse me, if I could just briefly backtrack. A moment ago, Mr. Magadan asked a question about the homeless, and I didn't have a chance to respond. But now that I've found the pertinent papers, I'd like to.
I'm afraid we have to move on, Madam Mayor. So could you kindly please respond to Mrs. Carpenter's question?
Ah, well, all right. If you insist. That one's easily answered. Yes, the gangs are a serious problem, but cleaning up police corruption has to be my first concern. And my administration is moving swiftly to deal with this terrible, terrible situation. Now, I'm convinced that only one officer is responsible both for the theft and the sale of the guns. And that officer, Andy Harrison, is now on trial and soon to be imprisoned, I hope. And in the meantime, I have also demanded and received the resignation of Police Commissioner Bo Buchanan, who has allowed this corruption to fester right under his plugged-up nose.
Mrs. Buchanan, do you have a response?
I do. I believe that people are innocent until proven guilty. My worthy opponent, in her rush to judgment, seems to have forgotten that fact. Commissioner Buchanan also believed in the basic presumption of innocence, which is why he resigned, rather than take part in Mayor McNamara's witch hunt. When I'm mayor, I will reinstate Bo Buchanan as my commissioner of police. And Mr. Buchanan will find out the truth and get to the bottom of this very disturbing case at last.
Oh, here. Oh, very pithy. Oh, extraordinary. Yes.
Folks, please, could we please hold our applause until the end of the debate? Thank you. Mr. Magadan, now I believe the next question is yours.
Yeah, thanks. Mayor McNamara, your opponent, used the expression rush to judgment. Is that how you make your decisions? Do they come to you right away from your gut, or do you toss and turn at night?
Mr. Magadan, you may laugh, but the truth is that I have a guiding spirit. It's a woman with whom I feel a particular kinship, and that woman is Barbara Bush. Now, whenever I am faced with a difficult situation, I just pause for a moment and I ask myself, what would Barbara do?
Mrs. Buchanan, a reaction?
I know Barbara Bush. I've talked to Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush is a friend of mine. Mayor McNamara, you're no Barbara Bush.
In a moment, we'll return with the conclusion of Decision 95, the mayoral debate.
And we're clear for commercial.
Chimpanzee could have organized those papers more coherently than you did. You have made a fool out of me. And that does it. You're fired.
Oh,
Good work, honey. You got all this down for the count, and she's going to stay there.
Oh,
She's
thank
not
you,
going to get up.
I love you so much.
I love you.
I don't believe it. Alex is actually pulling this off, isn't she?
What are you saying, Cord? You'd vote for her?
Well, why not? She's impressive, isn't she? Or don't you think a woman can be attractive and competent, too?
I think a rattlesnake is attractive and competent, but it doesn't mean I want to mess with it, much less marry it. Not like that old fool Asa Buchanan. Actually, he's responsible for my father's death. Maybe they deserve each other.
Well, was she married to him when your father died?
No.
Well, then why get mad at her?
Andrew? Why don't you try to explain Alex to your cousin?
No. Don't get me involved in this one, Max. I got enough family tangles of my own.
Okay, I just called Dorian. She was out, but I left a message about how right she was all along about David.
Well, she'll be glad you called. She's been worried about you.
Hey, how you doing, Joy?
Redmeister.
Hey. Kelly?
Hi, Andrew.
No, Andrew, please call me Reverend Dweeb. Really, I mean, I was getting used to it. Just when you were leaving, I was getting used to it. But that's kind of why I came over here. Listen, Kelly, if you want to, or I mean, if you need to, move back to the rectory at any time. That's fine. I mean, it's a little crowded with my cousin Maggie, but we can manage.
Why would you want me to move back in? You hate me.
No, Kelly, I don't hate you. It's just with this, David Vickers thing.
Oh, my God, does everybody know?
Stay away from her, Linda. You ever hurt her again, you're gonna answer.
I'm doing this side right now. There you go. Oh.
No. Talking to a snake.
Linda, look, I swear I'm not gonna mess with you. All I need to do is just talk to you for a second. Please, it's important.
Okay, but we talk right here.
Yeah. And I'll be watching you.
Very small compared to what our fathers and grandfathers did. So they went to war to preserve the right for us to live in democracy. And one vote, after all, can make a difference.
What do you want?
For you not to get hurt. Look, baby, I know you and I are not together no more. Right, I'm cool with that. But I still care about you, you know? And Manso, he told me he saw you having a little chat with that 5-0's lawyer.
So?
So? Linda, what the hell do you think you're doing? This is some very serious people you're playing with right here. I mean, if you testify against Manso, I don't know what could happen to you.
What?
Linda, they're gonna find your body floating in the river.
Hey, you two, you're missing a killer party. Amy, Christian has a really bad headache. No way. I did too. You know what? It must be the weather. Do you want a couple of aspirin? Got him right in my backyard. Excuse me, little girl's room. You would not believe what Hunter just asked me to do to him. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Can you believe Jessica brought Juan Valdez here? What was she thinking?
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
We are back for the final round of Decision 95. Mrs. Carpenter?
Mrs. Buchanan, it's been said that all this money you're spending is meant to erase the memory of your criminal past, and that you're trying to buy the mayor's office without any qualifications whatsoever. My question for you is whether the voters should consider your crimes and your wealth when they go to the polls tomorrow.
Of course they should. As far as my past is concerned, I confronted that issue openly when I announced my candidacy. The voters will either find it in their heart to forgive me, or they won't. there's really nothing else I can say about that. As far as my wealth is concerned, I am rich. Rich beyond my wildest fantasies. In fact, when I arrived at the studio tonight, I was covered in diamonds. My spin doctor made me remove them, as if I should be embarrassed or ashamed of my good fortune. I'm not. I'm proud. Wouldn't you be? Isn't good fortune the dream of every American in the audience? Whether born here or in another country, we are all in search of a better life. It's out there. You can find it. I will help you find it. I've been there. I'll be there for you. May I conclude by showing you someone else's dream for a better world? When the streets of Angel Square were safer and people had more hope. There used to be an angel statue watching over the neighborhood. It was vandalized and is now gone. There is a little boy who remembered that statue, and he is now a fine young artist by the name of Christian Baker. He has designed a new statue to replace the one that was lost. I am promising here and now that I will see to it that Christian Vega's statue returns. That is what my wealth can bring to the city of Llanview. Hope for a better tomorrow with a glorious angel watching over us all.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Madam Mayor, our coin flip has awarded you the evening's final statement.
Carlota, you must be so proud. Seeing Christian pictures on the television.
Juanita, I've always been proud of my son. That rich lady, she's a little...
Well, there's one thing you can say about being so rich. She can't be bought. No one could afford her.
It looks like my little brother's the man of the hour. All he needs now is a model as beautiful as you. Hey, what's wrong, Linda? Huh? I mean, you've been bumming ever since you spoke to Javier. What the hell did he say to you?
Nothing. He was just talking about getting back together, that's all. And I'm like, excuse me?
Wanna go for a walk? Come on, we'll go down.
No. No, not now. I think I need to be alone for a while, okay?
Again, I'd like to thank you all for watching us tonight. And remember, democracy only works if you make it work. So do your part tomorrow and get out and vote. Thank you, and good night.
We're clear, everybody. Thank you.
Alex, sweetheart, honey, you were a knockout.
Oh,
Manning, get over here. Shake hands with a winner.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice job. Hell, she didn't take any prisoners. Manning, you know it would be the icing on the cake. You put out a special edition predicting Alex here as the winner.
Look, if I were going to put out a special edition, I'd have to have the press starting right now. So? All right, I'll do that. I like that.
All right. But first, you come out and have a drink with me and the next mayor of Llanview.
Now, look, if I'm going to get that special edition out, I got to get on the stick right now. Not to mention the fact that I'm getting married in the morning.
What? Oh, you didn't let that she-devil. Or is it possible you wised up and you found somebody else?
No. It's Blair. See you.
I hope so, Manning. I just hope you don't wind up like I did. Writhing on the floor in pain while that harpy stares down at you and laughs. You're a fool.
I never said pretty women aren't competent.
No, you just don't think they belong in politics.
Not when they spent time in an insane asylum for killing a policeman. I have a little problem with that. I don't know why.
Okay, well, I didn't know that Mrs. Buchanan was that ill.
I don't think she was. I think she faked the whole thing just to avoid doing jail time.
Oh, and you know, when women are great at faking things, you know, like little fits of passion.
You'd know, wouldn't you? But now that you mention it, you know what? I have to agree with you. Maybe women are better liars.
Well, then that would make us great politicians. But you know, the one thing that we could never beat you at is sports, right? I mean, we just don't have the right physical abilities, right? Let's say, like, shooting pool.
No, I honestly have to say, you don't. Would you like me to prove it to you?
It's gonna be ugly.
I don't know. Maybe I ought to be locked up again in the rectory. Sure made a mess of my freedom and my life. If I ever had one.
Anytime you want your cell back, it's ready and waiting for you. Really, I mean that. Okay?
Thanks, Andrew.
Look, now that you've realized what a slime bucket David is and you've passed on the plan to run off with him, maybe if you want, you can stay on a little longer at the carriage house. If you want, just, I mean, at least till Kevin comes back from London.
I'd love to. Are you sure? I mean, I made an awful mess of everything you own.
Yeah, you did. But look at it this way. This time around, there'll be less stuff for you to break. What do you say? Wanna go home?
Christian, where's the number for the limo?
Well, why? I thought you wanted to stay.
No, you were right. Neither one of us belongs here, okay? Not with a bunch of these narrow-minded, hateful people around. Let's just go someplace we can be by ourselves, okay?
Well, you know, I mean, maybe Juan Valdez may want to dance.
You do?
Yeah. You know, I don't want to give Lorna the satisfaction. Do you?
Christian, I don't care, okay? Let's just leave.
Just look, I mean, I'm not saying all your friends are bad. I mean, some of them are okay. Look, Amy came by. She was nice. But then again, Lorna showed up. But that's okay. I mean, come on, look. You want to dance or not? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Oh. Come on. Let's go dance.
Thanks for putting up with us. Oh, no problem. I'm glad you came.
Good luck with the trial, Nora.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Night. Well, you weren't expecting all that company.
Oh, no, it was fine. I'm fine. And I guess you have things to do.
Well, not until you can say I'm fine with a little more conviction.
Clint, I've started having memories.
And some of them are pretty painful, huh? But didn't Dr. Hannon say that that's part of the healing process?
I've had this image of my father being smothered to death.
Well, that must have been a pretty scary image.
It was real, Clint. It was real. I see him. I see somebody pressing a pillow down over his face. I remembered it. I think I was there.